Hello, and welcome to the GameplayCast review for the third-person survival horror game Resident Evil: The HD Remaster. Resident Evil is a survival horror game developed and published by Capcom. The game takes place in a creepy mansion on the outskirts of Raccoon City. A police special forces team, STARS, is called to investigate the mansion after the members of their Alpha team go missing after responding to an initial call to investigate strange disappearances around the mansion. This game is a remake of the original 1996 game of the same title. It's not a like-for-like recreation, but it definitely captures the survival horror essence and suspense. Well, it did from what I remember when the game was originally released on the GameCube in 2002. This version of the game, the HD Remaster, was released in 2015, and after watching a Critical Drinker live stream of the OG, I really got a craving for some original Resident Evil. So does the game still hold up in 2023? In my opinion, it absolutely does. As mentioned at the start of the video, the original version of this game, aka the non-HD version, is a total ground-up rebuild of the original PS1 game. It originally only came out on the GameCube, and then was later given a HD upscale and a wider release. Like the much later RE2 remake, the team behind this game did an outstanding job of capturing the tension and suspense of the original game and decanting it into a similar but much improved experience. For me, despite the nostalgia and love for old gen machines, anything predating the Xbox 360 and PS3 looks extremely dated. It's generally hard to control, and it just lacks the finish and polish levels we've become accustomed to. I mean, look at this original zombie. It's literally got 4 pixels for a face. I still found this terrifying and used to only play the game during daylight hours. My point is, there are a wealth of games from this era that, if given the same remake treatment, would be smash hits. Anyway, I digress. The updated zombie AI and dynamics of the game are frankly phenomenal. Leave a zombie lurking in a room and he might just smash through the door and come looking for you. Forget to burn a body or run out of kerosene? Well, now you get a much more aggressive running zombie called a Crimson Head. These improvements to how the monsters behave, in combination with the use of sound effects, music, and classic Resident Evil camera angles, create a lot of horror tension, as you can't see what's ahead of you, but you can certainly hear it coming. Now in my 30s, I finally seem to have mastered my fear of zombies, and I loved every second of playing through this fantastic game again. The mansion is every bit as creepy and eclectic as my mind's eye had created, and it goes back to my praise of how well the team that made the game managed to distill the original essence into a new, improved recipe. It still uses pre-rendered graphics for the backgrounds, and honestly, they hold up even today. Yeah, you can tell it's old, but the detail level is great. Given today's technology, I'm not sure why more games don't go back to using this method. I was fully invested, and the game still has those great moments from the original, such as my personal favourite, the Itchy Tasty Diary. All you RE1 gamers know the one I mean. Only now there are some new additions like the diaries that detail what happened to poor Lisa and her family to flesh out the backstory a little bit more. The new creatures like the aforementioned Crimson Heads and the updated AI and mechanics really give a much better and needed sense of urgency to engagements. Yeah, zombies are still a bit dozy and shambling, but you really need to make a call on whether you kill them or keep trying to dodge them, and it soon becomes all too easy to forget where you left one lurking or forgot to burn a body or two.
It is your destiny.
Is it flawless? Absolutely not. The cutscenes and dialogue are still very wooden and awkward. This is something that is just a Resident Evil quirk for me, so it's not a massive detractor by any means. Personally, I kinda miss the days when characters talked with their hands.
What is that?
I'll go and check.
Okay, Jill and I will stay in the hall in case of an emergency.
My biggest gripe is in regards to how the controller reacts to camera changes. So each time the camera angle changes, the controls reorientate to that particular view. I have this annoying habit of reacting quicker and reorientating my controls as soon as I see the on-screen change. It's almost like a reflex from gaming. Consequently, there are moments where I create a kind of automated feedback loop between myself and the changing camera angle, where my on-screen character kinda gets trapped in a loop at the threshold of the change. This is avoidable by holding the controls in your original direction, but it's easier said than done when a zombie or hunter is breathing down your neck and you need to make a quick getaway. That said, it's not an easy fix because I actually strongly advocate for the fixed camera angles, as they generate a lot of the apprehension and tension in the game. It's not necessarily the most realistic if you're trying to play from inside the character's head, but as a gameplay mechanic, I think it's very effective, and if the game used first or floating third-person camera angles, you would really lose a lot of the atmosphere. The gun controls are very much still based on the old Resident Evil formula of hold one button to aim, and as long as you're roughly in the right orientation, facing the intended enemy when you press fire, it auto-aims at the nearest target. You can aim up and down, which at close range can occasionally lead to a nice zombie instant kill headshot, but the finesse of the newer first-person aim mechanic, as they have in Resident Evil 2, would seriously elevate the gameplay here. It's still functional and you get used to it. Being really picky, I could also moan about the pushing objects mechanic snap being a bit faffy, or some of the pre-rendered backgrounds being a tad misleading, either due to the placement of the camera or the scene being a tad dark. But that's really starting to split hairs and isn't something that ruined my experience. The few control niggles, awkward character dialogue, and slightly dated appearance do nothing to dampen what is still an impressive survival horror experience. Yeah, it uses pre-rendered backgrounds and some things like the fixed camera angles that we don't see much of in games anymore, but honestly, I don't know why. For a near 20-year-old game, it still looks great. If you like Resident Evil games and you missed the boat on the first game, I strongly encourage you to check this game out. I award Resident Evil HD Remake a solid and well-deserved 9 out of 10. The only thing missing from this game is the first-person shooting mechanic that's featured in the Resident Evil 2 remake. With that addition, another graphical upscale and some polish, this game could easily be a 10 out of 10. The game's atmosphere is, in a word, perfect. It is an excellent recreation of the original game that actually, in my opinion, far surpasses it. The added enemy mechanics and variety spice up the game, adding depth and mystery. Consequently, the mansion seems to evolve as you play, offering new and different challenges and pretty much guaranteeing that no two playthroughs will be exactly the same. I really got the bug when playing this game. It's almost like I'd forgotten how good these games are. Equally, after playing the RE2 remake, I wondered if I'd find this game a bit limited and lacking in comparison. But honestly, it still stands up. And at around £16, that's $20, it's still not a bad price for the game, particularly in today's £70 rip-off world. Don't bother buying Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, save £55 and buy this instead. If you want to check out the Resident Evil HD remaster following this review, it's available on consoles and PC. This concludes the Gameplay Cast's review for the third-person survival horror game Resident Evil HD Remaster.